What do you do when life knocks you down so damn hard you wonder if you'll ever get back up? Maybe it's a divorce, the loss of a job, a business that didn't go the way you hoped, or just the relentless pressure of trying to hold everything together while no one sees you falling apart. I know that place, and so does my co host, Neena Perez, for today's episode of the Unleash Your Ambition podcast. Neena is a transformational life coach, business coach, speaker, and author who went from teenage motherhood and heartbreak to build a purpose driven life and business. In this conversation, she shares how she refused to stay in survival mode and instead choose self leadership, even when it felt impossible. We have a conversation about how to rise when life breaks you down, breaking free from comparison and guru chasing so you can stop running in circles and actually align with your own vision. And we also talk about the power of showing up messy but honest. So if you've ever felt like you're hanging on by a thread, but deep down you know you're meant for something bigger, then this conversation will remind you of the possibilities. All right, grab your pen, your paper, and your favorite drink and get the most out of this episode. Neena, thank you so much for being on the Unleash Your Ambition podcast. Can you share who you are, what you do, and how you help people?
Oh, yes. And first of all, thank you so much for having me. You have a great podcast. So I'm excited to be here. I'm Neena Perez. I'm a speaker and author. I am a culinary artist and a transformational life and business coach. And really, what I do is I help women just get out of their own freaking way, right? To go from survival mode to purpose-driven leadership in really helping them create service-based businesses. It's been a joy of my life. I absolutely love it.
Thank you. And I know you absolutely love this. I love your work. I love your energy. Very, the work that you do is purpose led.
Mhm.
And, I can just tell that you light up every single room that you're in.
I
And
try. Oh, sometimes my
oh,
husband says I'm
you
lighting a little too much, but yes.
you don't even have to try. I don't think so.
Oh
No
God.
way. So what we're going to be talking about today, for those of you watching or listening, is the topic is about like from survival to self-leadership, how to build or how to rebuild after life breaks you down, which is
Mm,
something I'm sure every single one of us can relate. And there can be some of you that are watching and listening right now who don't know how to rebuild right now because you feel broken down. So I thought, Neena, you would be a great person to talk on this because we haven't really talked about this in detail with on the podcast before.
mhm.
So where would you like to start with this?
We can start really anywhere, but I
Mhm.
realize that life knocks us down a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why we feel like sometimes we can't get up or we don't have permission. And the
Mm,
truth is you need to give yourself permission because you're not a child anymore, right?
yeah.
So, I didn't have the luxury of giving up. I had a kid at 15 years old. I had a second kid at 21. I had an ex-husband who kind of just left me for another woman and just left me with two kids. And, I had to show up for me and I had to show up for them. And sometimes you just have to do what you got to do. And I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have the luxury to just say, I don't want to do this anymore. Let me throw in the towel. Let me whatever. Now, did I think those things? Yes. But when life knocks you down, then you need to get back up. And that's just how it is. And I chose to rebuild my life with my faith and with, being the best mother I could be, trying to show them that you don't give up when life gets hard. I had to learn, Stacie, that life is about balance and homeostasis. It's
Mm,
about, life being good and challenging, up and down, left and right. And I think a lot of times we're just being fed too much garbage about how everything is supposed to be amazing. You're supposed to manifest the whole world, and the whole world is going to be phenomenal, and you're just going to walk on clouds your entire life. And then when something bad happens, what happens? You feel defeated. You feel like you can't do it. You feel beat up. You feel like giving up. You feel all the things.
yeah.
Why? Because you have an imbalance. You think everything is supposed to be absolutely phenomenal and amazing all the time. And then when something hard happens, you're like, why is this happening to me? Because it's life. Life
Yeah.
happens, right? Like right
Mhm.
before me and you got on, we were talking about how tired we were because life is lifing,
Yeah.
right? Life is lifing.
Life
And
is life. And
I think that's important for all of us to kind of get as entrepreneurs and as women who juggle a lot of things. You know, life is happening and that is okay.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that you're bringing this up because, there's a lot of perception online, especially in this internet, on the internet streets,
Yes,
we like to
for
say,
real.
where we see the highlight reels of successful people, who we can want to live vicariously from or learn from, and it's it's not the whole picture, which
Right.
is why I have a love-hate relationship with social media,
Me too.
because I'm grateful that I've been able to connect with amazing people like you, from the
Same.
comfort of my home. But there's it's not healthy. Yeah,
No.
especially if we see other people's lives online and we're only seeing their highlight reels and you think that their life is great, and then you can think that your life is inadequate, or
Mm-hmm.
there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was with me, for many years before I even started my business, because I didn't realize how hard life was going to be. Like, no, nobody prepared me for
No.
nobody prepared me for any of that. It
Nope.
was like, I mean, I love my parents, but it was like they made it seem like it was just supposed to be common knowledge, and it just was not common to me. So for a long time, I thought, what is wrong with me? I couldn't keep a job,
Mm.
but it's just I didn't know how to lead myself, and I didn't have any type of sense of purpose, especially in my late teens and
Mm-hmm.
20s. Wild hair up my booty. Um, and I love, but of course, like things are totally different, which is why I wanted to have this conversation with you. It's about like leading yourself, being self-led, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what the circumstances are, especially, as women, as mothers, as caregivers, as business owners. And then there's some of the people watching, listening that are building a business and, have a career,
Oh yeah.
and things might feel really hard for them. And it's like, yeah, it's going to feel hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh
going to
man.
feel hard. Like, I don't think there's any easy button. I mean, I've tried to find them and press them all.
Yeah. I even got the one from Staples that says that was easy and it still didn't make it easy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That button
yeah.
is a liar.
Oh, yes, it is a liar. Mm,
You know why? Because I think that most of us are in survival mode, right? And so
mm-hmm,
we're always in that place where we are, sometimes we become NPCs, so non-playing characters in our life. And the issue is that we are looking at too many people living their lives, and then we become NPCs in our own life because we're looking at them living theirs.
mm,
And we have to be very careful with that, right? So if you're like, I just recently deleted all my social apps from my phone, all of them, right? And I have a team. My team does all my social media. So when they see something I need to answer, they'll just be like, Neen, this, and you need to go check this out. I'm like, okay. I needed to do that for me, Stacie, because I was like, overwhelmed and stressed out and this needs to happen. I got to get this done. I got to get that. It was just too much. And then I was waking up looking at my phone to see what the next thing is. And I've decided I'm not doing that crap anymore. I
yeah,
don't want to be on let me survive my business. Let me survive my career mode. This autopilot thing that happens. Always in crisis mode. Got to get that done. So we have to stop doing that to ourselves, right? Doing everything but feeling like you're going nowhere. And the reason as you're doing everything and you feel like you're going nowhere is because you're looking at everybody else thinking they're going somewhere. And guess what? They're going nowhere too. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to stop that.
yeah,
So we have to break free from of thinking that that's what the next guru is. That's what I have to chase. That's what I have to follow. That's what I got to go do. Da, 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 right?
yeah,
We have to start building margins. We have to start asking for help, real help from
yep,
real good people. We have to
yes,
start aligning our next move to why we want to even do that move. I don't know about you, Stacie, but I got into going to every single webinar, every single program, every single, like everything sounded so good. Let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. To the point where I did not know my identity anymore because I
Yes.
was too busy chasing the next guru's advice,
Ooh,
whatever the advice
can
was.
we talk on
Mm,
this for a moment? Because I know a lot of
yes.
people are feeling this way, especially with the AI revolution.
Yes.
So yes, I did that for many, many years. And yes, definitely didn't, I was off track of what my vision was,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
trying to play catch up. Yeah, I've attended so many webinars, and I mean, I still invest in coaches, but
Hmm. Me
I
too.
used to invest in many.
Me too.
I've had the same coach for years. I believe in long-term relationships,
It's
especially
awesome.
if your coach is still growing, you're still gonna grow.
Yep.
You're still,
Yep.
they're still a few steps ahead of you.
Yep.
But yes, I don't sign up for webinars anymore. I'm clear on my vision. I'm solid. I'm solid on the foundation. I already know the work I need to do.
Right. Right.
Um, so since I have the foundational stuff and what feels aligned to me, what works for me, because there's a million different ways we can build our businesses, but
Mm-hmm.
we need to know what is aligned with our mission, our vision, our personality, our sense of purpose.
Right.
We need to be clear on those things and then build the foundation, which is the marketing and sales, and doing it in a way that fits all those four boxes that I shared. And
Yeah, I think
then,
yeah, I'm sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh, no, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, a lot of people are just looking for those answers in someone else. That's the
Yes.
problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're already a leader. You're already leading,
Hmm.
whether it's your home, whether it's business, whether it's whatever, because your story, your healing, your
Hmm.
perseverance, the way you've done things, the way you've
Yes.
figured things out, whether it's survival or
Hmm.
whatever, that is you leading. But yet
Yeah.
we're thinking of, oh, well, this person says they make $1 million a day, so they must know the secret sauce to life. Let me follow them. And then what happens with you, though? What about the people assigned to your voice and what you have
Yes.
to say and where you got to take them? It
Mm.
might not be that thing. Now, I'm not saying that there's no good strategies out there, Stacey, because you and I would be out of business, right? We
Right.
obviously have strategies that work. Pick one, y'all. You
Pick
know what I'm
one and
saying?
stick to
Pick
it.
one, y'all.
I've been,
Like,
yes, I know collaboration's a part of your business strategy. It's it's a part of mine. It's a cornerstone because relationships, we're human.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Relationships aren't going away,
Yep. Yep.
especially right now in the AI revolution.
Hmm. Hmm.
AI cannot replce human connection, at
No, they
least
cannot.
I don't
No,
think
they cannot.
anytime soon, and I don't think ever. I know the technocrats want that, but I don't think it's possible.
I
God
think
made us.
we gotta get with the game here, Stacey, because the truth is AI is here to stay. So
Yeah, of
stop
course.
ignoring. Yeah, stop like
Yes.
those who want to
It's
ignore it. I don't want to do it. Listen,
No, no, no. I use
yeah,
it. I
me
use
too.
it.
I
I'm not
use it
saying I
too.
do
I use
not
it
use
too.
it, but I'm just saying it is a tool.
Yeah,
It is
it's
a tool.
exactly
We've been
right.
in this online space for a long time. It is a tool. There's
Mm-hmm.
a effective way to use a tool, and there's an ineffective way to use the tool. And
100%.
when I'm seeing, a lot of people aren't really going deeper. And that's
Right.
why being around other people, whether that's online, offline, and not thinking like they're on some pedestal, but we can lead together, we can share together, we can make an impact together. Like, I don't, that's not going away anytime soon. And everybody, yeah, I'm not saying I'm not against AI, right? I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
people come in for me because it's like, yes, of course I use it, just like I use
Yeah.
email, emails.
Yeah. AI's been around forever. Here's
Yeah.
the thing I will say though,
Mhm.
and to your point, right, about the
Yeah.
connection and creativity and all that,
Yeah.
is for those of you who are going to use AI or dabbling in AI, don't make AI the end all be all to all things. So you
Mm.
just be careful. Like I told, the women in my group, right? They're all coaches, so they're all launching their own businesses and they're all doing amazing, right? And the thing was, I said to them, I said, please don't become lazy thinkers. Be
Yes.
careful. And they're like, "Ooh, I didn't think of that." I'm like, "Yeah, because you're going to end up to a point where you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to write this email. You don't even want to think through things. You're going to just keep going to AI. Be careful with being lazy in your thinking
Yes.
because people are purchasing you. Not necessarily, what AI is doing with you, but you, what you're bringing, your expertise, who you are, what you bring to the table, your experiences. They're connecting with you for a reason. And if you start to sound like AI, that's going to lose the people that really need to connect with you. So we have to be careful with that. And I'll use me as an example. Like, I still remember my grandmother's phone number from the
Wow.
80s, right? But don't ask me today what my kid's number is because I
Yeah.
don't know it. It's on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean about lazy
Yeah.
thinking, right? When you
Mm.
don't have to learn to spell anymore because autocorrect will spell it for you.
Yes. Yeah,
That's a
I
problem.
agree.
Yeah.
Um, you know, my my 9-year-old, he talks to Google, hey
Mm-hmm.
Google, how do you spell this? Or what is this?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having to have him physically write down words,
Mm-hmm.
so he can spell, but it's like I don't think there's any escaping it. Like
Right. Right.
autocorrect, not really having to think. So I love that you're sharing with the ladies in your group. Don't be a lazy thinker.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I agree. And that's another thing about like, being self-led.
That's
No
right.
matter what the landscape looks like, because there there's nothing that wait, what's the word about change? Change is always constant, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the tools that we use, how the market looks, how we buy, how we live life, like we can't stop it. Everything's always in a state of change. Our bodies are,
That's right.
how we live our
That's
life.
right.
Like there is no escaping it. So I think being self-led and I want to circle back around, of course, Nina, to, like for the people who feel broken down right now, whether it's in their
Mm-hmm.
businesses, their relationship, um, you know, all this change and it seems to be accelerating. Of course, I'm pretty sure that just has to do with the information age, the internet age, computer
Mm-hmm.
age, AI age. I don't even know which one we're in right now. I
Right.
guess it's AI age. I have no idea.
It's going by pretty fast. I'll tell you
Yeah, we've
that.
gone
Yeah.
through, I mean, I know
Yeah.
when we were younger, it was the industrial revolution, computer age, information
Yeah.
age, and
Yeah.
AI. So we've gone through four and within our lifetime, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
it is
Okay,
crazy.
so this can feel overwhelming for a lot of people. I even feel it too. And sometimes I have a sense of fear, but I always, get back to my prayer, believe that, you know, have my conversations with God that
Yeah,
things things are going to be okay. And
they are.
they're going to be okay, even though
Hmm.
it may not seem like it, or if there's a feeling of doom. So, for the person who's watching or listening, like, what if, like, right now they are broken down, but they don't want to give up on their dreams, but they're just hanging by a thread. They know that they have something of value to offer. Like, what would you personally suggest to that person if they were right in front of you? They knew, they haven't given up, right? They're not
Hmm.
at that
Hmm.
place yet.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I think a lot of times, the question is, who am I to do this? Like,
mm,
who am I to do this? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. Like, who am I to do this? Am I good enough? Can I do this? Am I qualified? Blah, blah, blah. I just always ask, like, who are you not to do this? Like, who are you not to? I believe that God will qualify you as you go. Like, you are not qualified when you first start. You're qualified as you keep going. And that's the thing. Like, I think we all think that we need to show up as like our amazing self every day, all the time. And that's BS. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. And somebody who's built a business overnight took them 20 years to build it overnight. Okay. Just because you heard about it today doesn't mean they haven't been working at this since the 80s. Okay. So
facts.
God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies you as you are called, as you go. Okay. So action is going to build your confidence every day. So take an action, build your confidence. Take an action, build your confidence. Okay. It's not the other way around. We usually don't start just because we're confident. No, we usually start because we know we have something we're supposed to be doing that just feels greater and bigger than us. And then you get up every day and you mess up really bad. That's how you do it. And then that action, fixing that thing that you messed up on, ends up building that confidence that you need. So I will push back and say, when you think to yourself, Who am I to do this? I'm going to ask you, who are you not to do this? Who are you
Mm,
not to? Everyone should have an opportunity to do what it is they want to do. So, launching your first program, great, launch it. It's not going to be perfect. In fact, it's going to be crappy. And that's what you want. You want to be crappy in the beginning when no one knows you. Okay. That's
yeah.
when you want to do all the mistakes and be completely crappy and not do things right and get everything wrong. Perfect. Because when you're doing it in the beginning, and this is where I think a lot of us get stuck. We think
Yeah.
that we should know these things. And if we go out there, oh my God, what are they going to say? So we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of being looked at wrongly. We're afraid, that we're not smart enough, good enough, whatever the enough lie is. So
Mm,
you need to start questioning yourself like, what is this that I'm thinking, and is it even true? Because I'm telling you that about 80% of the time, it is not. It
yeah.
is something that you either heard somewhere, saw somewhere, somebody that you watch on some big guru somewhere looks amazingly perfect, and you're just comparing yourself subconsciously. And
Yeah.
that is all a lie. Because if you went behind the scenes, their life is just a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? So all of our lives are a hot mess. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And let
Yeah.
let's get to a point of homeostasis. Let's get to a point where we're all coming at this table understanding that
Mm,
not everything is going to be amazingly wonderful in roses all the time. And not everything is going to be crappy all the time either. Life will balance you always. Okay. Now I'm a person of faith. I believe in God. I read the word of God, and nobody there was walking on roses
no.
every single day. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Not even Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we need to stop. I think if we got that, if we honestly got, today may not be the best day in the world. Got it. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. If we
Hmm.
just got the balance thing as opposed to trying to be the best all the time, every day, every 5 minutes of the day, if we stop doing that, I think we can come at this a little bit more level-headed. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And I agree with you. I always like tell myself, I want to do 1% better than I did
Mm,
yesterday.
exactly.
And sometimes it
Exactly.
happens and sometimes it doesn't, but I
Right.
don't judge myself. I don't feel bad about it. And there were times that I did like this is where like being self-led, learning from
Yes.
others, learning how your mind works and how, how you can start like kind of rewiring how you think so you can be
Yes.
self-led and be
Yes.
able to navigate the mess because the mess is not going away. It doesn't matter how
Yes.
much money you have, how much support you have, how beautiful you are, the perfect spouse, perfect family you have, the mess will never go away.
Yep,
It,
yep. An
it just
imperfect
doesn't.
start
Yeah.
is going to start to become the foundation of your business.
Hmm.
So show up messy, but show up honest.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I will say. It's very important that you show up as authentically you as you can. Now, I will say that with a caveat because we also grow and change. Your
Yes.
authenticity today may look different tomorrow because you've evolved. Okay.
Hmm.
So stop letting people keep you pigeonholed into what they thought you were yesterday.
Yeah.
If somebody says to me, "Oh, Mina, you've changed," I'm like,
That's the
"Yes, thank
point.
you."
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, "Thank you. I've really been trying to change. I
Hmm.
appreciate that." They
Yeah.
think it's an insult. No, it's not. It's
No.
amazing if
Hmm.
I'm not the same person I was yesterday.
Right.
So don't worry about that. Just show up as you, show
Yes.
up messy, but show up authentically you. Show up honest, right?
Right.
And that's how you will get results.
I love everything that you've shared.
Thank you.
Yeah, confidence does come after you take motion. You
Yes.
know, um, you and I have been doing this for a very long time,
Hmm.
and we're always pivoting. We have to pivot all the time. We have to rethink. We have to take action, assess, go back to the drawing board. Like it just doesn't end. And I love that. Like in the beginning years, it was very confusing, which is why I think it's just very important to be surrounded by people, be in a community
Oh yeah.
that understands what you're building. Like my husband, he works a traditional job, so he doesn't even understand this
Yeah.
bubble that I
Same.
am in.
Same.
So I can talk to him about some things and he supports me, but it's not the same as being in the room, whether virtually or physically somewhere with people who are building something
Yes.
similar, who are building things that, just I mean, I know more and more people are building online businesses, but there's still a vast majority
Oh
of
yeah.
people who work traditional careers. So being in environments, especially when you're going through the mess, not just when you're winning, like most of the most powerful conversations we have behind the scenes, with my clients, it has nothing to do with marketing and sales,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Like that stuff is there, but like what mess are you working through right now?
Yeah. Well,
And
you can't heal what you don't feel,
yeah,
right? So you
absolutely.
have got to feel it and got to be all messy and yucky about it and I
Yeah.
hate the way I feel and I'm angry or whatever the thing is,
Hmm.
but you can't heal if you are, hiding from it. If you don't just face it, just face the damn
Yes.
thing, Like
Yes.
self-doubt, it will often come as unhealed wounds. So if you're
Hmm.
not showing up in a way that you want to, like you're afraid of being on video, or you're afraid of putting on an event, or you're afraid of starting this, that's because there's some unhealed wounds going on,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to face them in order to start moving forward. Because otherwise, you're going to be in the stuck stage forever. I know I was. I was stuck in the stage for a long time, you
Same
know?
here. I used to
Yeah.
be terrified of video.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a person that loves to write. After I get my thoughts down, then I translate it to audio. And I knew how powerful video was before it's like just mainstream, but that fear held me back for a long time.
Yeah.
It hindered me from actually connecting with people a lot faster because there's people that don't want to read or listen. They want to see
Right.
you, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So I'm loving everything that you're sharing, and I know we are just scratching the surface, Nina. We are scratching the surface, but I really appreciate you just sharing some words of wisdom and us having a conversation about this because I don't think it's talked about enough. And
Right.
even though even if it is, we forget.
Yep.
We're
Ain't that
human.
the
We have
truth?
amnesia, I
Yeah.
think, every single day, multiple times a day.
Yes.
So I would love for you to share where people can connect with you outside of the podcast, and then you also have a resource for them.
Yeah. So anybody can connect with me on Straight Talk No Sugar Added. That's my podcast, and you find me everywhere, and also under Neena Perez. So it's Neena Perez. I also wanted to share with you all. I created a resource called Elevate Your Wisdom to Wealth, which is a 90-day roadmap to actually get you to start your own coaching businesses, and it's completely free. And I'm sure Stacie will put the link, but you can also just go to shop.neenaperez.com and you'll see all of the resources of different things I have there for free and paid onto the shop. So enjoy, have a good time. And if you have questions, email me info@neenaperez.com and I will answer any questions seriously for anything you need.
So you who is watching or listening, like jump on the opportunity if you really enjoyed this conversation. And for those of you watching on YouTube or on Spotify, look in the description box below. For those of you that are watching or not watching, oh my goodness, listening on a podcast app, same thing. Look in the description. There's a link to the show notes, and that way you can get that resource. And thank you for your generosity. Neena, you have been absolutely amazing today.
Thank you for
So
having me.
final words of wisdom for the person who is actually feeling everything that we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
You
but
are not
they have
alone.
not
Mm-mm.
taken the steps to put themselves in rooms and supportive environments so they can learn to lead themselves, so they can learn how to rebuild, you know, after life gets messy, whether that's a divorce, they had to move locations, they lost a home, they lost a job. Um, like what are some final words of wisdom you want to say to them that we haven't covered yet?
Well, if it's a person of faith, I would say to you to set up CEO meetings with God every morning. So I have a journal, not that I'm trying to tell you what to do, but I have a journal that helps you kind of with prompts. But set up a meeting every day with God every morning. Sometimes you just need to pause, sometimes you need to pray, sometimes you need to take action. So just know that you have support out there. Stacie has a beautiful podcast. She also has a great coaching program, right? And so make sure that you like, share, subscribe, all the things for Stacie as well, because that's how we grow. And you do not need to be stuck. I'm telling you, there is ways to get through whatever mess you're going through. You are not alone. We have all been through some serious mess. All right. You got this. One day at a time, one prayer at a time. Set up your meetings with CEO meetings with God and make it happen.